I'm Mayor Rick Goldring, and welcome to Burlington Matters. Burlington Matters is a community television program here on TV Cogeco that I host, featuring topical discussion with varied guests on varied topics of interest at City Hall and within the City of Burlington. Today we're talking about festivals and events and tourism in the City of Burlington, and I just want to share a quick story before I introduce our guests. But about a year ago I received an email from somebody that moved to Burlington from downtown Toronto, and they love living in Burlington for an abundance of reasons. But what they were so surprised about were the tremendous amount of festivals and events and the quality of those events that happen in the city. That was a real bonus to them. But in any event, that's what we're talking about today. And with me are three guests. We have Jessica Wesolowski. Jessica is the Supervisor of Festivals and Events for the City of Burlington. We have Pam Belgrade, the Executive Director of Tourism Burlington, and Dave Miller, the Executive Director of the Sound of Music Festival here in Burlington. So welcome. Jessica, you got some great news to share about recent recognition the City of Burlington received.
Yes, we did. So on March 4th, we received the Festivals and Events Ontario 2016 Municipality of the Year Award. Very exciting honor to accept on behalf of so many community event organizers and volunteers in Burlington. We also received a Top 100 award for the Children's Festival and for Canada Day. And some of our community event organizers received awards that night too. So Sound of Music received the Festival of Distinction Award, and Canada's largest Rib Fest received an Event Greening Award for provincial recognition. So that was really exciting for everyone.
So recognize we got Dave Miller here from the Sound of Music Festival. We'll talk to Dave shortly about the Sound of Music. But the city, within the city, there's about 187 festivals and events each and every year. What are the most popular ones, and what are some of the ones that people might be surprised about?
So the city runs 6 direct delivered events annually. Our Kite Festival, where we celebrate diversity at Brant Hills, that happens on the first Sunday in June every year. Canada Day is always a favorite of everyone. Our Children's Festival again. New Year's Day happens on January 1st. That's at Tansley Woods. And our Santa Claus Parade is always a family favorite for everyone to come down and enjoy the holiday season. So
those are the 6 that are offered through the city, that the city provides, but there's 181 others provided by community partners.
Yes, so there's from road races and cycling events to charity events down on Brant Street. There's really something for everybody in Burlington, and we're really proud to have a great mix of events.
Wonderful. I want to talk to Pam now about Tourism Burlington. Pam, you've been in the role for a number of years now as the Executive Director. I remember when I was decided to run for council back in 2006 and finding out that the City of Burlington did have a tourism agency. I wondered, why would we have a tourism agency? We have Toronto and Niagara Falls so close. Why would people want to come to Burlington? I've changed my tune, but maybe you can give us some insight as to what the role of Tourism Burlington is in the community.
Well, first of all, I've probably got the best job in the world to promote Burlington because it's such a beautiful city. And so Tourism Burlington is the destination marketing and management organization for the city. So our job is to try to increase the number of visitors that come to the city so that we increase economic impact. And we do that through a number of ways. We do the promotion through our visitor guide and maps and our website and social media. We have a visitor information center that operates year-round, so we welcome visitors there. And we also work with our partners to refer them to various partners within the area, accommodations, restaurants. And we want all of those partners to really be engaged with the visitors so that they come back. And we rely on our local residents, because a lot of the people who visit Burlington are visiting friends and family, to bring them to the festivals and events, to come to the tournaments, to have meetings and host things here in the city, and that all helps with the economy.
So with regard to tourism, at the end of the year, how do you measure success?
Well, we measure success in a number of ways. We measure it through our partners, attraction attendance, our accommodations, occupancy rates, the festival and events, the numbers of people that come, the people who come through our doors at the visitor center, the amount of engagement that we have through our social media. So a number of ways. And we also get statistics from census information and Stats Canada. So there's about 4.5 million people who visit the region of Halton, so about 1.23 visit Burlington a year. So although we are between Toronto and Niagara, we like to be a hub and have people stay in a quieter place and enjoy the waterfront and the escarpment.
Wonderful. Speaking about not so quiet event, we have the Sound of Music Festival. And Dave, you're the executive director. You've been the executive director for a number of years. The Sound of Music Festival in the City of Burlington is really an iconic event every Father's Day weekend. And how did it all start?
The first festival was in 1980, and it was back then. It was a city-run event, and it was through the Parks and Rec department, specifically Laurie Branch, decided that we had a world-renowned traveling band, the Burlington Teen Tour Band, and never had a parade for it to march in its own city. So that's a festival was built and started around that parade, and flourished since. And the festival and the music is growing. The parade is still excellent, but we're winning all kinds of awards, as you just talked about, our festival distinction, which we're very proud of.
But you've won awards not just through Festival and Events Ontario, you've won other international awards. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we've won Green Awards from Recycling Council of Canada. We've also won awards to the International Festival Events Association, which is a group of obviously festival events around the world, and we're very proud of the one that we won, which was best event in the world, and among others for promotion, for marketing, different things that we do. We would like to be recognized for everything we take on. We take everything on seriously and very professionally.
So what are the keys to success each and every year at the Sound of Music Festival? Obviously you've got a great team of volunteers. Why don't you talk about that, but talk specifically about the focus of the event and what you're trying to achieve.
We're trying to be a great community event and bring excellent arts and culture through music to Burlington, and we want to be a tourist driver as well too. We do have a number of people that come from 40% of the people are not from the city that attend, but 60% attend. So we do have a huge amount of our attendance, which is over 200,000 people that visit the event. So it's double faceted as far as it's all about the music, it boils down to, and delivering a top-notch lineup, well produced and presented on many stages.
What's the biggest change somebody would notice in the Sound of Music Festival from 2016 to 2006, over 10 years? What are some of the big things that have changed?
Well, our attendance has changed. Our number of days. We're a 9-day festival now. We've increased the number of stages. We've grown tourist-wise. Last year we brought in a kickoff event, which is a ticketed event. I can talk a little bit about that later. But it brought in people. People bought tickets from 7 provinces in Ontario, plus Nunavut, and into the States. So people are finding Burlington because of this festival and how well it's produced and the reputation we've gained.
And this year, the Sound of Music event, our festival will be when?
June 11th starts with the kickoff concert, then the club series follows, and it ends off with the on Father's Day on the 19th.
And
so
you
June
haven't announced
11th
all
and 19th.
the performers yet.
Our kickoff lineup is out and available online for sale, but the rest of the event will be on April 28th, as we'll announce the whole lineup.
In your view, Jessica, what are all these events that happen in Burlington, all 187 events, what do they do for the city? What do they do for the quality of life of our residents, in your view?
Yeah, so in my view, I know Pam and Dave both touched on economic impact. From a city perspective, we're also really interested in bringing people together and making sure that we have bumping places that are out in the community where people
I'm sorry, you said what? Places?
Bumping spaces.
Bumping places.
Yes.
Describe, what does that mean, bumping spaces?
A bumping space is where people come together to meet each other, to meet their neighbors, to meet someone new, or to re-meet somebody. We just want to bring people together and build relationships because we know the value of community connections, and there's so many positive trickle-down effects that happen because of those relationships and getting out and knowing each other.
Pam, what's your answer to that question? What is the impact of festivals and events in the city?
Well, certainly the impact is is the whole quality of life and enjoyment, but from a tourism perspective, it's the economic impact of having people come and stay overnight, the residents encouraging friends and family to come down and have dinner before they go to the concert at the Sound of Music Festival. It's developing that community pride of hosting things like sport tournaments and other events. It's developing the capacity within the community for running volunteer events so that we can host more. That again helps have a vibrant community, a business community, and a place that people are proud to live in.
I guess I look at all the different festivals, events, creating memories for people.
Yeah.
And I think back to 1999, and it was at the Sound of Music Festival, Dave, in 1999. It was the 10th anniversary of the twinning relationship with our twin city, Itabashi in Japan. And the weather that night was amazing. The atmosphere in the park was absolutely amazing. And the fireworks were phenomenal. I remember there being with my whole family, and I remember what a special day and special night that happened that particular night. So you think about that, and that was just one family.
Yeah.
And you think of the magnitude of the number of families, the number of friends, the number of co-workers that come together around music, around running, around movies in the park, whatever the event is. You know, we're creating opportunities for connectivity, and we're creating opportunities for people to create lasting, meaningful memories. So.
That's great.
In any event, we're going to take a quick break. If you've just tuned in, you're watching Burlington Matters with Burlington Mayor Rick Goldring, and my guests today are Dave Miller of the Sound of Music Festival, Pam Belgrade of Tourism Burlington, and Jessica Wesolowski of the City of Burlington Festivals and Events Department. We'll be right back. I'm Mayor Rick Goldring, and welcome back to Burlington Matters, and we're discussing festivals and events that take place in the City of Burlington. My guests are Dave Miller from the Sound of Music Festival, Pam Belgrade of Tourism Burlington, and Jessica Wesolowski of Festivals and Events for the City of Burlington. We talked earlier about economic development, and we talked earlier about quality of life contribution that festivals and events do make to the City of Burlington. Pam, just drilling down a little bit about the economic impact, can you give us an example of an event that has meaningful impact in the community economically?
Yeah, absolutely. A recent event, the Chili Half Marathon, it happens on the first Sunday of March, and it's organized by VR Pro in the downtown core. March normally on a Sunday is pretty quiet in the downtown, and this event infuses 3,000 runners into the core. And the event organizers have very creatively partnered with a number of people, like the accommodations hosts. They've done shuttles between the accommodations and the race start. They've partnered with sponsor Stag Chili, and they've put that chili into the restaurants in the downtown. So post-race, the racers come, they enjoy some chili at a place that they've maybe never been before. They stay a bit longer. They hopefully come back again. The race also used the Performing Arts Center as their post-race celebration and award place, and had music from local artists happening there. So all of those things infuse money back into the community. It helps the local business. It hopefully encourages those racers to come back again at a warmer time of year, perhaps, and it's all a great boost for the local economy.
And Dave, the Sound of Music Festival obviously has a huge economic impact. I mean, your budget, I forget how many millions of dollars your budget is, but that has an impact by itself. But obviously the activity that's generated has a tremendous economic impact. And you've done studies to determine what that is.
And we're growing. And the rate currently, last year's study indicated that we had over 11 million dollars of economic activity in the City of Burlington.
So how is that measured? What are some of the categories of impact in that 11 million?
It's a survey. You interview people. They ask them questions like, where did they stay? What did they spend down at the event? What did they spend in the city? And you add that all up, and that's where the $11 million came from.
But obviously, just the fact that you're spending money and investing in the different acts that are performing, that's obviously got to be part of it.
Yeah,
I would assume.
Yes, yeah. So we're have a very big entertainment budget. We have a big production budget, and there's a lot of infrastructure that we set up to make sure the festival's a safe and inviting, and people leave with a smile on their face, having a good time.
So the whole festivals and events piece is significant in Burlington, and we were recognized, which is absolutely wonderful. And Jessica, you're the supervisor of festival events at the City of Burlington. But in order to have these, in order to facilitate these events, they just don't happen. There's a tremendous amount of effort that is expended by many different people. Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. So not only do our community event organizers have tons of staff and volunteers that help produce the events, but there's also a special event team within the corporation of the City of Burlington with representation from departments across the city to ensure that there's a coordinated approach to events. So internally we have members of the team like our transportation department and transit and roads and parks maintenance and customer service. There's a number of departments, and then we also have external partners from Halton Region, from the police services, from public health, and from the paramedic service to make sure that our approach to events is very coordinated and concise and safe at the end of the day for everyone who's in attendance.
So like the city team, the special events team, Dave, your team, to put together Sound of Music, it's significant, it's huge. Can you tell us about that?
Over 800 volunteers in total. Over 100 of them work year-round to plan our event. There's 13 individual committees that we coordinate monthly with an operations meeting, talking about everything from the marketing right down to logistics and our eco team that we have on site. There's a lot of planning. These people are hugely dedicated to our event, and that's a fantastic thing about Sound of Music is the volunteer dedication, and many of them are here year after year after year.
So if somebody wants to get involved with the Sound of Music Festival in a volunteer capacity, how would they go about doing that?
Very, very simple. Just soundofmusic.ca is our website, and all the information about the festival is on our website. But there's a Get Involved tab there, and then drop down and volunteer, and you got all the information on things that you can do and how to sign up. And there's a festival hotline. There's a direct email to our volunteer chair to answer all kinds of questions.
So recognizing you do have 800 volunteers, you could do with 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 more.
Yeah, yeah. Some of those volunteers, as I said, they're so dedicated. They'll put in the extra effort, and they'll help out and do 3 or 4 extra shifts. So yeah, we'd love to have about over 1,000 would be ideal for us.
So you would like to have more than 1,000. So there's at least a couple hundred spaces currently for people to volunteer.
Oh, for sure.
Wonderful. Jessica, you're working on an event strategy for the city. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So we're working on an event strategy currently. It was brought to our attention because the City of Burlington is a natural space. A lot of people want to host events in Burlington. Between the waterfront and the escarpment, there's lots of interest. So we're working with a number of stakeholders to determine which types of events that we want to see in the community. So we're working with the residents. We're asking for their feedback. We're asking for feedback from our festival and event organizers themselves, and then from council as well to really get a fulsome understanding and our partners on what they want to see happen in the city. We have a number of assets and resources, so we want to make sure that we're using them responsibly.
Pam, by the time this program airs, it's going to be early spring. What are some of the key events that are happening in Burlington in the springtime?
Well, one of the exciting things that is happening is that the Royal Botanical Gardens rock garden, 80-year-old rock garden, has gone through a rejuvenation. So it's going to be reopening this spring. There's a number of opening events that are planned, and I had a sneak peek of the garden last fall. It's gorgeous. It's been planted so that it's more year-round as opposed to just spring blooms. Sound and lighting throughout the garden, and there's a new visitor center right across from the garden at York Road. That's a meeting and celebration wedding space and visitor information space. So that's exciting. The Mundialization Committee has organized a new event called Blooms of Friendship, and we're actually on the little trail. They've planted thousands of tulips in the downtown area, and they've got an event on Mother's Day, May 8th, along with the Canadian-Netherlands Friendship Festival on the 7th, and the Sukara Festival at the Art Gallery on the 8th, too. So those are all great Mundialization activities. May's Chocolate Month, and we're promoting that through Burlington. Love that. And various artisans and events through our partners. And then there's a couple of new events in the summer, one being the Music and Art Fest held on July 15th to 17th with bands and artisans. And then, of course, all the great events that Jessica's mentioned that go through the summer, and then Rib Fest at the kind of unofficial end of the summer at the Labor Day weekend that is very popular for both residents and visitors to come to.
So how do people find out more, or a listing of all these different events? Yeah. Because they all are wonderful. And we want to encourage as many people as possible to go to these events.
So one option is to go to the City of Burlington's website, and there's an events calendar. So that's the community calendar for events across Burlington. The other is to contact Tourism Burlington or visit our website. So we have a link, actually, cross-link, and work together with the city on that. We keep a master list of all of the events that are happening across the region so that we can answer inquiries. And then the event organizers, of course, all have great information on their websites too. So,
and one other thing I want to talk about is the fact that cycling has increased in popularity in Burlington as potentially a tourist activity.
Yes. So Burlington, with the escarpment in the lake, is a really popular destination. We've got the Waterfront Trail, the Greenbelt route, and the Trans-Canada Trail through Burlington. So we've worked with the Hotel Association to develop a cycling package with a discount off of hotels and a $25 value package that they get with a MEC card, Mountain Equipment Co-op card, a cycling pin, and other goodies, trying to encourage cyclists to come and stay overnight and enjoy all the routes here in Burlington. And we've got lots of information on our cycling page on our website with cycling events and things like that. So we promote it through all our various platforms.
Wonderful. Jessica, what's your favorite event in the city?
Oh, that's a hard question. I'm going to go with Canada Day. I really, obviously we honor our country. You're putting me on the spot.
That's my plan, yes. Yeah.
I'm going to have to take Canada Day though.
Yeah. And obviously the Sound of Music Festival is in a different league, and it's a special event to everybody in the community. But Pam, other than Sound of Music or Canada Day, do you have one in mind?
Ribfest is a favorite for me personally because I bring a bunch of friends down on Friday night, and we always meet there. They love it. They come from all over, and we just have a great time listening to the music. We pick ribs from all over and share them at the table, and it's a great annual event for me.
Dave?
Sound of Music Festival, I have to say.
But is there a part of it that you really like the best, or are you too busy working and worrying about all the logistical issues that could come up that weekend?
Both. I like a lot of parts of the event, and I'm very busy. As our volunteers, one of the things I like about it is the volunteer. It's just amazing the way they put this event on. All our suppliers, our vendors that are down there, right down to the stage crew that's putting on the production. The music sounds great. We do put a lot of investment into the quality of the stage production, and it's really the volunteers plus all the people that attend, just that great positivity that we get out of it. And with all our surveys on site and post event and saying how great it is and how wonderful it is to have this in Burlington and visitors to Burlington that say, so just a positivity about the whole thing at the end of the day makes me feel good. People with smiles on the face of the event enjoying it. It makes your year-long planning all worthwhile.
So what are some of the favorite musical memories that you would have?
Oh,
There's many.
There's many. A couple of thousand bands have gone through Sound of Music, and certainly I've been astounded by the quality of the bands that, for instance, on our Downtown Street Fest, on the musical pods we put on there, just the up-and-coming bands are amazing. And some of our kickoff concert I really enjoyed last year with Weezer, Our Lady Peace, and Collective Soul, and Burlington's Finger 11 that was there. It's numerous. The bands are limitless. I love our country, the jazz we have up at City Hall and at the Kojiko stage, and it's all great.
And who are the performers this year at the ticketed event?
The Cult, Headstones, Glorious Sons, Chemical Burn, Pop Evil,
Silverstein,
Burlington's Silverstein, yes, exactly. So it's the Cult is our headline band, along with Headstones. Both of them have a great history of Canadian. Headstones, a great history of Canadian music. So.
Yeah, we are so fortunate because we have so many different events that are so meaningful to so many different people, from Sound of Music to RibFest to Canada Day, the Kite Festival, Children's Festival. But one of the events that we put on that doesn't attract as many people as all the events I just mentioned, that I think is absolutely fantastic, is the Movies in the Park. I think the idea of having a movie in the park where you have 300 or 400 people in various parks around the city in the summertime, with popcorn available, and families bring their lawn chairs just to sit outside on beautiful summer evenings, just to be together and to watch a movie. I think it's novel and extremely special. So we are very fortunate. How can people connect with you, Dave? Sound of Music Festival, or soundofmusic.ca, or soundofmusicfestival.ca?
Soundofmusic.ca.
Soundofmusic.ca. Pam, Tourism Burlington?
.com.
And as far as festivals, events, City of Burlington, Jessica?
Burlington.ca/events. And we also have a Twitter handle where we promote all the events, and that's @BurlEvents.
Wonderful. So there's all sorts of social media that Sound of Music has as well, including Twitter and Facebook, and Tourism Burlington has the same. So if you want to get connected, you can go to all the different websites and find out about all the different events that you can take in this spring and in this summer. In any event, thank you all very much for tuning in to Burlington Matters. I'm Mayor Rick Goldring, and our guests today have been Executive Director of the Sound of Music Festival, Dave Miller, the Executive Director of Tourism Burlington, Pam Belgrade, and the Supervisor of Festivals and Events for the City of Burlington, Jessica Wesolowski. I thank them for joining us today. I thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time on Burlington Matters.